Welcome to episode 279 of the Bear Trap on the Boomer Bust channel, a Bears podcast by a Bears fan. I'm your host, Terry, and today we are going to the film and we're going to look at Trubisky's misses versus the Packers. We're going to look at the interceptions as well. I think it's important, obviously, for a lot of people, they want to see this because it was a blowout. Like, there's a lot of garbage time stuff, and we might eventually get to some of the completions and touchdowns, but we all know that came in garbage time. What was more effective was the ineffectiveness of our offense early on. So, and plus people just like outstandingly, people like watching the incompletions and stuff way more than they watch the completions. But anyway, with all that being said, let's go ahead and get it started. I could not find my button. All right, so we got 20 of these. We'll see if we get through all these. And I've seen some of these early. So this is early on. Sorry, pause it for you. So it's 2nd and 9. This is early on in the first quarter. So the Packers already scored, missed the extra point. And then Dave Montgomery had a 57-yard run. So now we're down here in the white zone. Out of the gun. Now, with this, just not to spend a whole lot of time, because some of these I've seen. With this, you got an inaccurate pass. What you're going to have is man coverage. You'll see the scrape out the back. You'll see the reactions. This is man coverage. So I actually like the route they chose. I mean, King is over the top of that. Robinson's not really anywhere open. So Jimmy Graham, he's not going to do anything unless it's a fade ball. So I like this because the defender's off and then you got the leverage to the outside. So I'm not mad at all with this throw. But then the inaccuracy is the problem, because here's where the open space is. You lead him a little bit, he walks into the end zone. But because the ball is thrown behind, Komet doesn't really have a chance. Now, he still should have caught it. That's definitely a catchable ball, but the ball's a lot harder than it should have been. And it should have been a touchdown. And so we'll look at it from the end zone view so you can see. But yeah, they're going to rush for. It's going to be man coverage. And no real issues with the pocket. Again, it's just going to be, this ball should be here, but it's all the way behind. Again, still should have been caught and everything. And it could have been a touchdown, but that inaccurate pass made it way more difficult than it needed to be because that ball was way behind them. 3rd and 9. So right after that, we're still here in the white zone. Motion out to empty. And we do get 5 routes. And really, it just kind of looks like 4 vert or 5 verts with the bender with Jimmy over the middle. And then he takes a shot up to Allen Robinson and it ends up being incomplete. Now, I don't mind this. I already know some people are going to be like, oh, Jimmy was open. He was not. They moved when he pulled to throw. So that was not open. So you gave a 50-50 receiver a shot with a 50-50 ball. I'm fine with that. Defender's not turned around. Obviously, some people might argue for interference. I personally, whether it's the Bears or anybody else, I'm much more pro defense when it comes to some of these interference calls. So you're not going to really get me to say that should have been interference. But it was a perfectly fine play. What happens here, though, is the defender plays through the hands and it's going to be incomplete. It's hard on that other angle, but on this angle, you should see a little more. That as he comes down, they punch through, the ball comes loose. He never really fully has control as he comes down. Then the ball bobbles around and it eventually comes incomplete. So I think that was actually a good call. So 1st and 10, we're in the second quarter. As you can see, we're in the green zone. So under center in the I formation, play action here. Trubisky sets up, and I'll let it play here. So this is one of his interceptions. So this is one where a lot of people were complaining about, and I do understand. First, you'll see the pockets clean. So they were looking for Robinson. This is a 3-man route. You got the leak out, you got the dig, you got the post. So they were looking for Robinson. I mean, yeah, it's better than this, but Robinson's running into a defender as well. And then by the time Trubisky threw the ball, Robinson wasn't really even out of his break fully. But you could have waited and then threw it. But again, the problem with that, so look, Trubisky sets up to throw. He's already hitching. So Robinson's already within his break. He's making contact. So that means you would have had to wait. So if you would have waited a little bit for him to bring it across, this defender's coming right there. Again, better pass than this, but still not a great pass. There's not a lot of great options on this. It's only a 3-man route. But Trubisky goes long, and yeah, not a good option as well. And that ball's intercepted. And again, the pocket's clean. There's nothing to say. And I was shocked going through a lot of these plays. There's a lot more clean pockets than people wanted to believe. So 2nd and 7. We're still in the second quarter. So we go play action here with the little fake end around. And just coming for, I was thinking this was the screen. This wasn't the screen. So it goes over the middle, ends up missing. Now we got 21 personnel, so you only got 2 receivers out here. Your tight end goes out, the back goes out, but really it's just a stop route over the middle. And Mooney falls, but that ball is not really by him, even if he was still standing up. But still, obviously he falls, so that's where they were trying to go. And not a terribly bad play. I'm not a huge fan, but not a terribly bad play. But again, the accuracy, because even if he's standing up, you just led him towards King on that one. And let me make sure to prove the point, because I know some people will watch the film. Oh, never mind, I missed it. But yeah, a little bit off, but it could have been a catch, but the receiver fell. So now there's an RPO. Now, it's perfectly fine. I have no issue with it except the bad pass. The RPO is set up right, and this is one of the few RPOs. Most time people talk about RPOs, they be play action. People don't know what they're talking about. But this is an actual RPO. So what you're going to do is read this, what I would call an apex defender. Technically, he's the apex, but he's on the line. So what you're going to do is read that. And here as well, you can read the edge. But you're going to see, okay, so if this defender steps towards the run, my RPO is right here. I got this wide open out. Now, really, again, like you look at the Packers, they just throw this anyway. You don't really need an RPO. But it's off coverage. It's the look you want. And so you're looking. If he plays coverage, then you give the handoff. But he comes up, you throw the ball. And then you got this, but it's a 3-on-3, so you don't really want to play that game anyway. So it all looks well. You go to the right decision. The ball's just not catchable. That should be an easy completion. Again, you see A-Rod and them do it all the time. A little speed out. Again, no issue with the pressure. RPO like it's supposed to be. Bad accuracy. All right, so 2nd and 3. Towards the end of the half, going into second half. As we're trying to score. So play action, roll out, just low pass again. Again, the feet not set on the move. Trubisky's accuracy drops. His accuracy is already not great, but when his feet aren't set, his accuracy really drops. And there's no issue here. Play action, roll out, you do everything you're supposed to. You leak out. Komet was wide open. But either way, I have no issue with the play setup. You expect to get that quick pressure because you got that. It's really a naked. I mean, he's naked because ain't nobody coming there. And so you expect that quick pressure, but he didn't even really give him a chance. And not that it was going to be anything anyway, but so 2nd and 11, third quarter. You got 3 to the left. And not sure who this was going to, but obviously the accuracy was off. So you'll see kind of 2 of these hitches, little levels here. You got one hitch, then you got one little curl. Now, I don't know if that was supposed to be a out route where he's supposed to plant and go out, which we do run an out route with some of our hitches sometimes. So maybe that's where it was supposed to go. In that case, then, the receiver fell. But I can't tell you 100% for sure what that was supposed to be. And now keep in mind, you got Mustaford and Bars, Notre Dame boys. And then Ifedi is moved over to tackle. The pocket's fine, man. You see that wobbler, and that's why I wonder, where that was supposed to go. Because you've seen a couple times, the ball's been wobbly. So 3rd and 11, down 17 in the third, backed up in our territory. Big third down. Out of bunch trips, they leave the back end and the tight end. We do little whip route, little dig, I don't know if this is supposed to be a double post. It didn't really look like a post, but that was a corner route or a cross or whatever you want to call it. Now this is another interception, triple coverage. And honestly, it wasn't a bad design. That's not going to get you none. It's 3rd and 11. Now you see both coverage here. You might want to take this one-on-one matchup. But even with this, there's a lot of space to complete this pass. There's a lot of space for Miller to outrun Amos to the edge or to the sideline and complete that. The pass, the decision's not great, but the pass was worse. Because, again, at the point you get ready to throw, you taking your hitch. There's space. This safety is on the hash, the opposite hash. And he's got to step on him. You know Miller's fast. You put this ball right here, Miller could run under it. There's nothing but space. The ball placement is terrible. And then, of course, you probably want to go to A-Rob there. Also, had he caught that, I would have won my bet. No, I'm just... Oh, man, I'm not salty. But anyway, that's an interception. And if you didn't see, the pocket was fine. We'll go through. We left Montgomery. We left Komet in. Komet's been blocking a whole lot, helping out on the edge. And they didn't do a bad job. The pocket is clean. Komet does a great job on Zadarius. It's just a bad throw. All right, 1st and 10. Still in the third quarter in our own territory. Trips to the right. And we just throw one of those little hitches. I was going to say hitch scheme, but it's not really a scheme. But little hitch concept. And just a good play by a defender. I know some people are like, he's hanging on the back. I don't mind that. Because really the truth of the matter is if they're able to get underneath that pass like that, they're going to break it up anyway. I don't really care if they had their hand on your back or not. So 2nd and 10, down 24. Probably going to wrap this up. I think we got the point, but we're going to go through a couple more trips. So flat, hitch, probably a hitch, flat, hitch. We know that concept, or curl. Curl or hitch, depends on the depth. And then just kind of throws it away. Now that one, you had nowhere to go, but the pressure got there, and that's just due to the coverage. again, and I'll say this, we're not the only team that runs that concept. It actually is very popular in the league, but we run it way more than other people. And also, I just don't like, I don't particularly like our design. I've seen it designed a couple different ways, but even still. And even with that, I feel like there was more room for Trubisky to step up, but coverage either way. 3rd and 10, third quarter, still in our own area. So we leave 2 in. We've done this formation a few times last week. We end up leaking out Montgomery. We got a long out. I don't know if that was supposed to be a spot or what that was supposed to be. And then obviously a vertical. Pass is too low. I mean, it's a tough spot to complete it anyway because the coverage was pretty good on all those routes. You would have had to been like pinpoint to hit any of these routes. But either way, you got Trubisky in the pocket. And the pocket's fine. The pocket's fine. That's just a bad throw. All right, 2nd and 6 towards the end of the third. I'm going to wrap it up here. 41-10. We got trips to the right. And this looks like a double slant, which I hate that concept. When you run it on both sides, well, not really a double slant because there's 3 people here, but these 2 are going to, well, I guess they break in. I don't know what this is. All 3 of them went in. And then he also came on a slant. I don't know. That looked really weird. I don't like it. But either way, a lot of congestion. Not really a greatly designed play. But we'll look at it. Pass pro's fine. Leno's getting pushed back, but Trubisky's got room to make a throw. King just undercuts it, and that's what that is. So there we go. Yeah, I put out a message earlier because I had watched. I didn't get this far, but I watched a lot of the plays. I put out a message earlier. I'm like, yeah, these Trubisky fans not going to feel too good after this. And the O-line's fault. The O-line. I ain't saying the O-line's great. But, man, they did nowhere near give as many problems to Trubisky or any quarterback than we have recently. And, I mean, they played great. And, I mean, it was one thing when I heard Nagy say, like, the O-line played their butts off. And I'm like, what? And I didn't look at the run game yet, obviously. But I was like, what is he talking about? But watching that, no, they gave my man's time. They gave my man's a clean pocket. They gave him space to throw. So, I know the O-line's a problem. I'm the first one that said that. But, man, they was not a problem right there. That was just Trubisky. So, anyway, go to comment sections. Let me know what you think. Share it around. Get the conversation started. Thumbs up, subscribe, and remember, stay up and bear down.